like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for Teen Mom Season 7, episode something. It's an episode that came on yesterday. I did not write down the episode number, duh. But you know what the episode was because it came on yesterday, so it's fine. I hope everyone had a great Tuesday. And it's getting ready for this good little hump day. We have all this nice weather here in Detroit, Michigan. Even though I'm not in Detroit, I stay in Warren. But you know, Warren and Detroit, same goddamn city, basically. But yeah, it is nice and warm here. Warm meaning today it was in the 60s. We're going to be in the 40s for the rest of the week. So people will probably barbecue all week. It is what it is. That's what we do in Michigan when the weather gets a little bit nice. This particular episode of Teen Mom, it was good, you know, it was okay. Didn't get pissed off too much into Farrah and her bullshit and her fuckery, but you know, it is what it is. If you guys can hear a fan, yes, I have a fan on. It's right here on the floor because it's still hot, because it's winter, supposedly. So, you know, my house is just radiating heat and it's stupid, and I can't have the windows open as I said yesterday because I record now. Once somebody walking past saying something dumb or just talking and you hear it in the video and I gotta restart it. So, but it's fine. You guys should be able to hear me great because I have a microphone. So this particular episode started off, I think I'll start with Maci's thing. You know, Maci's story or her part of it this episode was Ryan's wedding. Now y'all know I'll be like, fuck Ryan's wife, okay? I don't like her. She gets on every nerve I have. So for me, I kind of sort of did not care, basically, about the whole thing. But, you know, I'm here to do reviews, so it is what it is. You know, we see how Ryan is at the church and everything. Mackenzie's with her friends, giggling and laughing and ha 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 ha, and trying to have a really good time. Didn't care. We see that Ryan, one, did not write his own vows, and two, he don't even have a comb or hairspray. How you at the church asking your daddy to go get your mama's brush and her hairspray so that you can do your hair for your wedding? Ryan is such a baby, and it aggravates my soul, but whatever. You know, Mackenzie, her friend, like, oh, I can't wait until we see what Ryan wrote, what his vows would be, what he wrote. He ain't write shit. He ain't write nothing, because he don't care, okay? This whole thing, I believe, is for Mackenzie. We don't like Mackenzie. I don't like Mackenzie, so I don't care. Even when someone says, you know, have you wrote your vows yet? He said, no, I'm just going to wing it. You know, they don't have to be perfect. Who cares? Who says that? You know, I feel like my mouth was watering for some damn reason. This is a new lipstick. I don't know if I like it yet. Not the color of it, because it's just a dark color, but the consistency of it just kind of irks my nerves, and I don't think I'm gonna wear this in the next video that I do today. It's MAC, and it is like a green color, and it's irking my nerves as I'm sitting here, and I want to like just wipe it off. Yeah, mean green machine, and I don't like it, but this is my little makeup bag. I have all the same lipstick in. But yeah, I don't. So if y'all see me keep doing like this on my lips, is because the makeup is the lipstick itself, and it's MAC. The hell. Anywho, so yeah, he was saying how he, you know, I don't have to. It doesn't have to be perfect. It is what it is. No one cares. No, Ryan, you don't care. You know, we see that he gets to the church. Mackenzie and her friends are out with the bridesmaids, or we're like taking pictures or whatever. They try to block him from seeing her. Mackenzie go hides in the bush. Mackenzie's in the bush. Get up like that bitch. They get married. You know, it was really simple. You know, they went to church, they got married. You know, Ryan made up some vows, basically. You know, he was putting chewing tobacco in his mouth. He was talking about he went to get some shots. And this is before the wedding. And I'm like, you know, okay. You know, they get married. You know, Mackenzie says the real vows, how she takes him forever and now. And she is happy he chose her. And now she chooses him and his whole baggage and everything. And how they've been through their ups and downs and blah, 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 blah. You know, Ryan just says how he loves her. He'll always be faithful in something. I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, all right. Okay, they're married. She kisses him and is chewing tobacco mouth, and that's just weird for me, but it is what it is. I guess that's what it is. They go outside, and it's kind of like he's saying how he hot, and she like, yeah, because you're drunk. And then he's asking her why she's acting funny. She said because she's sick, because she hasn't ate. And they're kind of just a little bit bickering a little bit, but it wasn't any big deal. And then they go to the church. At the church, we see Maci and Jen has a bit of a conversation with Jen, saying how I thought, I was worried about us, thought we wouldn't be okay. And Maci, who I think was probably a little bit intoxicated, was like, we're great, we're fine, don't worry about it. I still love you. You're still my mother regardless. And I do love the relationship with, at least with Maci and Jen. Jen would attempt to defend Ryan to a certain extent, but at the same time, she would just kind of sometimes also, I'm sorry, my eye was itching. She would also sometimes kind of not comment when he not doing things right. So I think for her, it put her in a weird situation because her and Maci are so close when it was the whole, he can't see Bentley thing. And I'm pretty sure that she thought Maci had something against them for the mistakes that Ryan was making. And so it's cool to see, it's like an eyelash fell in my eye. It's cool to see, Jen and Maci kind of had that, I scared my middle finger, to have that conversation, and for Jen to be happy that Maci still loves her and there's no issues, there's nothing in between them, and Maci just saying, you're still my mom, I still love you. I think that was very, very beautiful. We see a little part where Mackenzie saying how she has to pay the bartender, and when Ryan asks her how much money does she have left, and she says $100. And he's like, you just had $5,000 the other day. Like, how did you only get down to $100? Or were you just spending money, or did you just not count how much money you had? Like, how did you get down to $100? And I thought to myself, well, is he counting the money because he want to get high, or is he counting the money because he thinks she just spends too much money of his money? I'm still trying to figure out, how does Ryan get money? What does he do? Where he get his ducats from? I mean, who pays the bills? What job does he go to? Who clocks his checks? Who deposits the money into his goddamn bank account? Where did he get $5,000 from? Okay, that's what I want to know. However, she said, well, no, I paid all our bills. And he's like, that doesn't equal $5,000. She's like, well, just today, I paid $1,000. He's like, for what? Like your hair and your nails? So she doesn't really say what she spent the money on. So she spent $4,009 on something, and she just said it was some of the bills, and who knows, maybe she bought crack for him. I don't know what it is. It's fine. I don't care. I don't like Mackenzie, and because I don't like her, because I felt like when she was walking down the aisle, I said to myself, I feel like if Mackenzie tripped on her own train, she would find some kind of way to blame Maci. And for that reason, as I said to y'all before, for that reason alone, I can't have any kind of respect for Mackenzie until she acknowledges the bullshit that she said about Maci, until she acknowledges things are not Maci's fault. If she can't do that and shut the fuck up, I can't be happy for her, even on her wedding day. Like, I don't wish any harm to her. I don't wish any negative vibes to her. I just can't fuck with Mackenzie. I can't be happy for her personally in my life on this stuff. Not in my life as if when the show go off, I give a fuck. Because when the show go off, I don't care. But because I'm doing reviews, I can't really care too much about Mackenzie. Her and Ryan does like their whole, first dance. It was very lackluster. It was just as lackluster as that dang on head job that Black China was giving that man on that video. I mean, they did not look in love. They looked like they were two people who had an arranged marriage, and this is the first time they seen each other and they had to dance together. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, when I get married, me and my husband gonna be getting down on the dance floor. We gonna damn to be having sex. We gonna damn to be making out. I mean, he was barely touching her. I don't even think they were dancing to the song. They were just standing there moving left to right. It was weird. Even her friend said that was the most awkward first dance ever. And Mackenzie was like, what do you mean? She was like, it was just, you guys didn't even like you liked it. Like, he just had his hand like this hanging. It was weird. And it was a very weird first dance. So they married now, We see Larry gives a little toast and gets very emotional, saying how he's happy that Ryan chose him to be his best man. And then tells her, Ryan, you've married your best friend the same way I married my best friend. And she will always be the person there for you to spend your money, to do whatever, to do this and to... It was very touching. It was very touching. I might have shed a tear if he was not talking about Mackenzie. If he was talking about... He could have been talking about any other female on God's green earth. And I would have felt a little bit of sentiment. But because it's Mackenzie, I just can't take him serious. And now they married. But at the same time, they was already married. So it is what it is. Farrah. Farrah... Let me get her together real quick. Farrah, you a bitch. You are as worse of a person as there could be in regards to how you treat other people. And, Farrah's whole thing was they were in LA, her and her mom, they were shooting a MTV special. I realized they were shooting the New Year's Eve special that they shot and then just aired and it's, close to the New Year's. And saying, I'm here shooting the thing with my mom, but I don't want to talk to her or see her, but it's her birthday, so we're going to kind of just go see her later. No one wants to see you, Farrah. Like, you have your core set of friends, not even friends, your core set of fans, you honestly do. And that's fine. I ain't one of them. I'm not for your bullshit. And, we see her, Deb, and Sophia at the little, it was like was it an aerobic? It's the place where you go to be on the sheets and you be flipping and stuff and upside down. It was that place. So y'all go there. From there we see how Farrah she says, I have an appointment. So, Sophia's going with my mom to the hotel. Now in the car, Deb asked Sophia, so Sophia, are you coming to my wedding? And she just asked, and Sophia said, I told you I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming. Deb is happy. But Sophia said, but don't hug me. But yes, I'm going to come. I told you I was coming. So somewhere in between the last episode and this episode, Sophia had decided that she wants to go to her grandmother's wedding. Cool. From there, we see Deb talk to David for a minute. He tells her happy birthday. Deb brings up a great point. Deb says, as far as with Farrah not wanting to come... Matter of fact, no, this happened before the whole thing in the car. So before Sophia said that she was coming, Dad was talking to the producer, and she was saying, Farrah at one point was doing porn. I supported her. She is now doing these webcam videos, which is kind of like porn, and I still support her, and I never have judged her. I just don't want her to hate me. So after that is when they went out to the little hangout thing, and her and Sophia was in the car, and Sophia said that she was coming to the wedding, because before Dad was saying, like, I don't want her to hate me, that's why she's not coming to the wedding. But as Sophia said, she wants to come to the wedding. So from there we see what appointment Farrah was at. Farrah was out taking her damn coochie a facelift. Farrah is on Teen Mom OG getting the coochie facelift, saying, ever since I had Sophia, I wanted to get my coochie fixed. I believe ever since you started doing porn, you may want to get you... No, I'm not going to say that, because women who have babies, the lips do spread and it cannot bounce back. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to body shame a pregnant person or person who had a baby. I just don't believe Farrah. I don't believe her. She gets on my goddamn nerves. Whatever. So from there... Dad was getting dressed. Farrah was getting dressed for this MTV special they're shooting. So, I'm trying to be sure I'm saying this stuff right to get to this part. Yeah. So, Farrah's in her room getting dressed. Deb's in her room getting dressed or whatever. Deb then goes down to the car. For some reason, the producers are talking. They're saying, Farrah was supposed to be down here 30 minutes ago. Deb's sitting in the car. Farrah is late. You can see on both of their faces that when she says Farrah's late, they both mean Farrah's late as usual, and ain't no point in trying to rush her, because Farrah is Farrah. Farrah's a bitch. She gonna piss them on and do whatever. You can tell that by the body language that the producers had when one of them said Farrah is late. She's upstairs still getting her done. She was supposed to be down here 30 minutes ago. She ain't here. Okay, cool. The producer then say, so-and-so, what's the ETA for Farrah? She then says, oh, never mind, here she is. So we then see Farrah go to the car and say, I didn't know you were in the car, Mom. They didn't tell me that. She then says, get me, I think the girl name is Kristen, whatever the producer's lady name is. This is when Farrah had me fucked up. You know, the producer walks up and then Farrah, in a very mean, nasty, rude, disrespectful, and this bitchy way, says to her, you know I don't like you. I don't want to fucking look at you. Fuck you and your excuses. Don't you ever have my mom waiting in the car for 30 fucking minutes. You know, if you can't do your job, then don't work with me. Bitch, what? Look, I am all for if someone purposely does something against your parent that you want to rectify that and, you know, kind of go off. You don't even like your mother. You said in the beginning that you didn't even want to see your mother. And now you pissed off because your mother was sitting in the car waiting for 30 minutes for your ass. My thing is, if you and your mom had a better relationship, she would have called your ass and said, Farrah, get your ass down here in this car. The reason you didn't know is because you don't talk to your mom. So don't try to take your frustrations, your anger out on a producer who you say you don't like as if she's the problem. Bitch, we know that you are the problem, Farrah. Farrah has always been the problem on this show. After 16 and pregnant, once it became teen mom and she wasn't that 16-year-old kid, Farrah has been a fucked up individual ever since, and people put up with her bullshit, and it is beyond my scope of understanding as to why someone needs to cuss her the fuck out and tell it could be me. Okay, I'm not the one to sugarcoat shit when it comes to Farrah. She irks every goddamn nerve I have. And the way she spoke to that woman, I'm a person where I feel like you have to respect people at their jobs when they haven't done anything. And my thing is, when she said, I don't like you and I don't want to hear your fucking excuses, I don't want to look at you, you had a personal issue with that lady. And because you took your goddamn time, because we all know on these shows there are call times, and sometimes the cast don't make it to their call times. You knew the reason your mama said is because you took all goddamn day. You knew you was late. You knew it. It should not matter if your mom was waiting in the car, in her hotel room, or on a goddamn bus waiting to get somewhere. You made her wait. So, bitch, it's your goddamn fault. So, my thing is to talk to that woman in the manner that she did irked every nerve I could have, used to have, that didn't went away, that didn't came back, that all the nerves in all the worlds of all the people. She irked every single motherfucking one of them. And the thing is, the producer just said, because she said, no, if you can't get out the way of my life and stop getting in my way, don't be here. She said, what did I do? I didn't do anything. What did I do to interfere? She didn't do shit, bitch. She did not do. Farrah, you are such a bitch, and I can't wait. I don't believe in violence. I really do not believe in violence, but I swear, if someone punched Farrah dead in her nose, in her mouth, and a little bit in her throat, I wouldn't be upset about that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be upset as long as it's not a man putting his hands on her. As long as it's a female, you know, it's a girl on girl fight, okay? And if someone punches her again in the nose, in the mouth, and in the throat, I would be a little bit okay with that, because no, I wouldn't, because I don't like violence. But that's how aggravated Farrah gets me and makes me, because this the way that she talked to her. If my mother saw me talk to someone like that, my mama would kick me in my throat. Not really, but she would definitely snatch my ass up. And I'm 36 years old. She was like, Jay Lee, who the hell do you think you is? And my mama don't even cuss. My mama would chop my head off. The fact that they allow her to be there, I can't wait to the next episode when they chin check her ass for reasons, you know, whatever, on how she treats staff and her extracurricular sexual business ventures and stuff like that. She just, oh my god. And that's kind of her scene ended with her cussing out the goddamn producer and saying, I don't want to hear your fucking excuses. And you can't go around just not respecting people. And then the only places where Farrah is respected is porn. Them webcams, them dildos, stuff, all that stuff she doing. And look, it's a market for that stuff. I'm not saying that anyone who, you know, is involved in that stuff is as vile as Farrah. But what I'm saying is she don't have a lane anywhere else. She doesn't. The only reason, I don't know why the fuck she's on Teen Mom. I really don't. But I swear when that girl said, I don't like you and I don't want to fucking look at you, I swear if I was in the vicinity, I would have just threw a brick at her foot. Not her head, because that's like murder. You can't do that. But I would throw a brick at her foot. Because Who the fuck does that? And that is who Farrah is. I think for the simple fact that this show is supposed to be about women who were not unfortunately, but got pregnant at a young age, and how they were able to continue their life and be positive people. She is not positive. Not at all. I probably hate Farrah more than Mackenzie after today. I think it's a hierarchy now. Farrah's number 1. Mackenzie's number 2. Then we have Janelle. You know what I'm saying? Because Janelle irks my nerves too. But not because just because Janelle's stupid. Not because she is like a bad person or whatever. But yeah, I just can't. You know, Farrah is a complete bitch. I do not like Farrah. I will never like Farrah. I hope all the dildos she sells, like, has herpes, and people have to sue her. I hope all the webcam videos that she do, I hope all the webcams give her webcam hepatitis C. I just don't like her. I don't. And I just feel like because people allow her to feel like she's okay in what she does, she continues to be that way. If she would, people are allowing her to be like that, and it's because she ain't came across the right one. I'm just waiting for her to come across the right. I'm waiting for her to take a trip to Michigan and see me. So next, I did not mean to go off that long, but it was what it was. Gary, Amber, and the baby and all this other stuff. Hers was also very easy. You know what I'm saying? We see Gary and Amber agreeing to do a joint birthday party for Leah. Leah is turning 9. That is crazy. 9. Oh, the kids are like fucking grown. Amber also goes to the doctor. She does find out what she's happened, even though Matthew, Lord Jesus, even though Andrew was initially saying last week that he did not want to know what they were having just yet, but they decided to. I feel like my microphone is weird. Even though he was saying that he did not want to find out initially, but they're going to find out, and she is 17 weeks along, and they're having a boy. Andrew was happy. You know, he brought up how there's a lot of girls in his family, and he took his glasses off. He shed a couple tears. He's happy that he's having a son. You know, Amber seemed happy. I think Amber is happy because in retrospect, she thinks a baby is fun. And I don't think she realizes how much hard work she's about to be in for, because again, she didn't really raise Leah. So we shall see how this plays out. You know, it was like a little scene of them sitting around talking. I didn't care about that part. You know, it was just, I think it was like filler role or whatever. You know, we then see how she says how she wants to tell Leah at her birthday party that she's having a boy, that she'll have a little baby brother. And she does. At the party, Christina was not there because she was with her other daughter, and I guess they can't film the other daughter, so when the other daughter's around, Christina can't be on camera. And so I think some of the other parents who have children where the other parent does not want their child on TV, then that person just doesn't film when that child is there. So I think that's, it is what it is. So she tells Leah that she's having a boy. You know, Leah seems happy, that she's having a baby brother. And, they were at like a little painting with a twist, but for kids. So it was cute. It's nice to see, Amber there, Mary, and, them to be able to co-parents things. But I do feel like Amber was talking about, oh my God, my belly's getting bigger. I feel so hot. I'm having hot flashes. I feel like she kind of a little bit wanted attention for being pregnant again. And I think it's because she's just happy she's pregnant. But we shall see how long that lasts, because we know Amber's a little bit batshit crazy. The last thing that we kind of see is Gary and Christina talking. And the producer kind of asked how Leah, is basically dealing with her mom being pregnant and having another sibling, and they say how she doesn't talk much about her mother being pregnant. They bring up how since Amber's been pregnant, her and Leah have not really spent much time together at all, so it's not as if it's such a big deal for Leah because she's not around her mom as much. And Gary actually says how Leah is honestly still trying to get used to Andrew. Remember, he's still brand new basically. Says how Leah spent all the time with Matt. Matt and Amber were together for 3 years. He say so. For the most part, Matt was really in her life. Like that was her friend. That was who she did everything with Matt, because, as they always said, Amber was always in the bed asleep. So Leah was always hanging out with Matt doing things or whatever. So when Amber and Matt broke up, it did affect Leah a little bit, and so she was like, Gary said, she was hanging out with Gary. not Gary, Lord Jesus. Gary said she was hanging out with Matt. That was her friend. Then Amber and Matt broke up. Amber stopped coming around, so Leah didn't see her mother at all for a while. And then her mom comes back around with Andrew, and then 3 weeks later, she's pregnant. And she was like, so then he said, so Leah has not had much time to adjust to even be around her mother, period, let alone be around her mother while she's pregnant. And he said, but for the most part, Leah has had to be the one to deal with the most adjustments based on Amber's decisions. And that's very fucking true, because if you think about it, she started dating Matt and had Matt around kind of out the blue. Matt was around for 3 years. Her and Matt then break up, and then she's so depressed she can't be a mother. She don't want to be around her daughter because she's too depressed. So she goes away. She comes back around with a new guy, and then the new guy is awkward. Let's just be honest. And her mom's pregnant. So I think that is a lot for an 8-year-old, because she was 8 at the time, to go through. Because it's one thing of, I love my mom, but I don't see my mom. My mom is sometimes sad, but she has a boyfriend. Now she's happy. Oh, and now she has another baby. So she already does not spend enough time with me now. So I wonder how much time I'm going to really get with her once this new baby is here. So it's a lot for an 8-year-old to even have to deal with. I just hope Amber get her shit together. I really do. But, it was what it was. Caitlyn and Tyler. This season, Lord Jesus. This particular story was more about Butch. Tyler and Butch went to Texas so that Butch can be in treatment. They get there, and Tyler lets Butch know that when he called the place to say how expensive it was, and he didn't know if he could really afford it. And I'm like, you can't afford 50 grand? I know they make a few $100,000 each season. Not only that, I'm pretty sure you have all kinds of sponsorships and their clothing line that I know was doing good. Not trying to count their money at all. I think Tyler's issue was, do I really want to spend all this money and I don't really know if he's gonna get better? I really think that was his issue, and that's a valid point to have, because again, you are the child, so it's hard to want to be the parent simply because your parent has a drug addiction. And so I think that was more of what it was, but I could be wrong. It is what it is. Everybody have opinions. So he was saying to Butch how, when I called, I talked to him, and we were talking about price and stuff like that. And then when he said, when they heard our story and what we've been through and all this stuff, he was like, surprise, they are going to give you a free ride scholarship, so you get to be here for 6 months for free. I'm like, well, bitch, look at that. I feel like the place did that because you have Butch coming here from Team Mom. Y'all gonna shoot some scenes here. For one, he's gonna be here for 6 months. So that means for at least this season and next season, people are gonna talk about our facility. So it's free publicity. It's free publicity. I'm not saying that they did not do it because the story that Tyler has went through is very, very sad. He's a young kid whose father was on drugs, his sister's on drugs. He had to give a baby at 16. Just all these things. His father has been in and out of prison. It's a very sad story. But however, I don't think it's so sad to give somebody a free ride for no reason. Because my thing is, I do wonder if he had that exact same story with no cameras, would they have given Tyler's dad a free ride? Or did they do it because he on Team Mom? It's free publicity. They know we exist. We can have people come here to our facility. All that stuff or whatnot. At least that's my way that I look at it. So, he get there, for Butch, he's like, okay, I kind of have to do this. I have to get better. I want to be better. This is the start of something good. They get there and, they kind of do an intake with Butch, ask them, how many times he's been to rehab and things like that. And then we separately see one of the counseling people talking to Tyler, just saying how, he'll get one phone call a week for 10 minutes for the first 60 days. The phone call is monitored. He won't need any money, because Tyler said, will he need money for a commissary? I said that it's pretty, I know it's not just but would he need money to buy stuff? And she said, no, they don't buy anything here. They're given everything that they need. This says how the counselor will contact Tyler once a week with any updates about Butch and stuff like that, but that he will have access to contact the counselor if he has any questions or concerns. And she basically just says how they are there to not only help Butch with his sobriety, but also help the family move forward with all the pain and hurt they've had to endure because of Butch because of Butch's drug use. You know, she brings up like, you've been through trauma because your father has always been a drug addict and in prison, and so you're gonna have you can finally have a sigh of relief because he's here getting help, and you no longer have to be the parent. You can go back to being the child. You know, you don't have to worry about him because he's here trying to get help. I liked how she said, we're not just here for the addict, we're here for the whole family. Because just think about it, there's a lot of emotions and mental issues and probably hurts and pains and scrapes within the mental, physical, and the emotional situation, or the emotional attachment, the emotional bond, even the emotional hurt of what they've had to endure all these years that Butch been doing all this foolishness. And you could kind of see a sigh of relief on Tyler's face when she said that, because he never realized, wow, I've went through trauma just dealing with him being on drugs, and I've had to be this parent, and I'm just a kid. And you know, at one point, they show Butch being, you know, talked to by one of the intake people, and they asked him like what drugs he used. He admitted that he used crack cocaine and cocaine was the main thing that he said he used or whatever, and how he had used them like maybe 3 days prior. And he got emotional or whatever. Told the counselor to feel free to, you know, tell Tyler anything he needs to know. He like, you know, you have my complete agreement to, you know, disclose whatever you need to, you know, disclose to him, you know. And I thought that was a great thing, that he's open to the process. And because he was kind of crying and emotional, it kind of showed where he is sober, because he's feeling the ramifications of what he's putting his son through. Like, my son has to get calls from the doctor because I was on drugs. Damn, that's crazy. He was feeling that. And I'm like, he was smoking crack. Well, I'm always surprised in this day and age, 2016, 2017, 2018, that people were still smoking crack. So when he said, yeah, I did a lot of crack, I did a lot of cocaine, you know, I do it a lot or whatever, I'm like, people really still smoke crack. I'm like, who still makes crack? Like, I really be thinking, like, y'all really out here still, crack is whack. Whitney told y'all that years ago. So yeah, and Butch says how, just talking about everything, how he just feels overwhelmed, you know, how it's just a lot to digest and everything. And you know, we do see how Tyler leaves and everything, and you know, him and Butch hug, and it's funny to see how they both didn't want to let go, how they both are having to deal with letting the other one go. You know, Tyler having to let his dad go to let his dad get healthy, and Butch having to let Tyler go so he can stay there and get healthy, because I think in one way or another they're codependent on each other. It's like, what would Tyler do if he didn't have to save his dad all the time? What would Butch do if he didn't have Tyler always there to save him? So in a weird way, they're codependent on each other. And it's going to be great to see how they can both evolve from no longer having to be that way. And that was the whole episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back for another review later. Am I doing something else today? Yeah, I think I'm doing like one or two other ones today. So other than that, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.